get it together.
All right.
We don't need to both be over here like that.
Look, don't you start.
Last week me, now you.
Really. All right. Welcome to Failure to Communicate.
Really? Really? Hey guys, welcome back to Failure to Communicate.
Good to see you today. The side eye. We are 5 seconds in, and the side eye is already in the house. You feel me?
Because he already getting on my nerves today.
What I do is what I do. How are you?
Exactly.
Good to see you, though.
Coming in hot.
Look, you look amazing.
Thanks.
You look amazing. You just look like this beautiful Nubian princess today.
Really?
And I appreciate it. My mama said kill them with kindness. Whenever they hate them, you just kill them with kindness.
Is that what you do?
Give them all God's love.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Hey, LC. She said, Sweet Willie J. LC be coming with the jokes. Hey, Darica. Welcome.
I always appreciate the jokes.
We are back. We are back for another Wednesday. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am Joy M. Hutton.
And I'm Jay Bradley.
And I got my voice back.
I miss you not having a voice.
See what I'm saying?
Welcome back. I had to get you one.
You know, he's saved every week because we are in a church, guys.
You know what? Won't he do it?
Because if we weren't,
Won't he
boy,
will?
I would have some choice words for
Won't
him.
he will?
So
And I
I'm trying to
appreciate
keep
him
it together, okay? So, hey, Sheila. Hey, Mommy. Hey, Laura.
Your mama
Yes.
in already? Okay. well,
Yes.
shoot, I gotta
Yeah,
stop.
so you can't cut up.
How you doing, Miss
Get
Hudson?
him,
How you doing?
mama.
Everything good?
Get him,
Right,
Bobby.
right. I don't want any to combine.
You don't
smoke.
want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
I'm good.
So, yeah, glad to be back. Glad to have my voice back. I got some good days of rest. Jay was trying to get me out in these streets, and I was like, no. I'm like, I told you I need to rest.
I'm proud of you. You rested for like.
It was
longer
like
than
6
Jesus did.
days.
He did 3 days. You was
Really?
6.
Really?
Yeah. He only needed
6
3.
days.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway, I am far from Jesus, but I'm working on myself. All right. Okay. So anyway, guys, today's episode is called Loves a Slap in the Face.
I want to give my co-host credit for this title. She texted to me, and I was like, absolutely.
I
love
mean,
is a slap
it
in the
just
face.
makes sense because we are going to talk about you know who later. But before we get into
I
that,
almost want to do that first. and then
you want to
the
do it
rest of the
first?
stuff. No, we don't have to. We don't have to.
No, we got a whole. That's probably going to take up the bulk of the show today.
Right.
But anyway, and you know, for obvious reasons. That's why the show is called this today. But Kiss, if you guys don't know who Kiss is, that's a song by Kiss. So go ahead and listen to it.
I need to check it out.
You do. It's a good song. So, but we're talking about power couples today, guys. So we kind of touched on that a little bit last week. We talked about one power couple in particular, and that was Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know, I think you know, a lot of people, and I had to reflect, right? I had to go home and reflect after saying some things last week. Now, I do not condone the cheating.
Okay.
You know, I still don't. It's unacceptable to me. But at the end of the day, I do feel like people can repair their marriages after cheating. Maybe once.
Okay.
Not
I like that.
not repeated cheating. You know, that's where you draw the line. But yeah, so, you know, and I'm glad that they were able to work through that, especially having to deal with something so publicly. Yeah. That's tough. Mm-hmm. And, you know, because, you know, they are a power couple. Do you really want to ruin that big empire over Becky with the good hair?
You know what? Becky wasn't worth it on both sides.
Listen, Solange was like, what I'm not about to do is have you cheating on my sister.
Right.
That would be Gianna. Gianna is Solange.
Really?
My sister, yeah, she would right upside your head. Right upside your head.
Nobody wants the Hutton smoke. I'm just telling
They
you right
don't.
now.
They don't want it. They don't want it. So anyway, but I think, you know, one of the things that I've noticed with these power couples is that other people strive to be like them. They compare themselves to them. And so it's like hashtag relationship goals, hashtag couple goals. Yeah. What do you think about the whole power couple thing?
I think that men and women look at it differently a lot of times. Mm-hmm. I don't hear my boys saying, and when I say my boys, these are grown men, but I
These are
don't hear
his
them saying,
friends.
no, I'm just talking about men, period, too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
well, cigar bar, whatever the case is. And I don't hear men say, I want to be a power couple. Mm-hmm. I don't think, I'm not saying that they don't want to, but we just don't define it that way.
How
And
do
I
you
think
define it
maybe
then?
looks
Because, see,
differently.
it's always different words, y'all. They may not say power couple, but they're saying something else.
Okay. So let's
So,
just go
what? So,
back
how do
in.
you define it? Let's hear this.
I think each person defines a power couple. For me, a power couple is somebody where I'm okay with my wife growing with me. If I've been more successful in business, a lot of times having that right person with you will make you more successful.
Okay.
Right? So you become a power couple. I think at this point in age where women are wanting men that have kind of been where they are right now and they're already there. I'm
Right.
okay, putting a little bit of work in.
Are
when
you?
you finish your school a
Are
little
you?
bit.
Are you?
I'm gonna pay for the last semester. Last 2 semesters max. Now if you start from the beginning, you got your 4-year. Look, I'll pay for years 3 to 4.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
Okay. So I guess when I think of power couple, I hear a lot of people. It's always related to obviously career, money, status, things like that. No one's talking about we're gonna be powerful together with our personalities. You don't hear that. It's always related to materialistic things, and so I think that's why you have Beyonce and Jay-Z or other couples like them as the example. Or, you always see people together. They're like, ooh, they're cute together. They'll be a really good power couple because one's a doctor, one's a lawyer. But you don't know what the inside of that relationship looks like. You can look good on paper, but what your insides look like is a whole different story.
You and I had talked about a relationship that I had not a while back.
Yeah.
And
Get your timeline
I met
Get
a young
that
lady.
timeline right, Jay.
Look, these COVID years, the days and
right.
weeks and years.
Right.
And I dated a young lady, and it was briefly, and she was extremely successful. I mean, extremely successful. She checked boxes that weren't even there because it's not really my thing. But you were like, yeah, Jay, on paper, y'all are amazing, but no, you going to live life miserably. And I listened to you, and you were right. But I wonder if I was trying to make it work because I was like, okay, we're an instant power couple. She's
I
done
think
her part.
so.
Yeah.
And especially when you are in the state of mind where you're like, I'm ready to be in a relationship. I'm ready to be married. I want the person that checks these boxes. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they could be checking these boxes and then you're missing a whole set of other boxes that are not being met. And that is the core values, characteristics. I didn't look cracky. It's a lot of things that might be missing there,
Yo, when I tell you that Joy was like, Jay, what is wrong with you? This woman is not the one. I understand that y'all are great and this and that, look good, both careers look good, but brother, and you got to put, and a good friend does that. And I appreciate you. Go on, give me a little light cheers. Yeah, I appreciate that. Look, y'all, I would have been in the cuckoo house. I would have been in a padded room. We'd be doing this from a padded room right now.
He was stressing me out.
I was stressing
I was like,
out.
if you call me one more time about this woman, I think it's time to let it go.
Right? I've seen the Frozen theme song.
Right.
Big facts.
I was like, it's time to let it go. But I know for me, and I'm guilty of this, right? Because I think as an entrepreneur myself, and I want someone that's going to align with who I am.
Yeah.
So whether that's someone who's at my level or higher, because what I found when someone is not in that same position, it becomes kind of a competition. Or there are some other insecurities there, or there are other layers of things, and so. But I've always attracted guys who are at the same level or higher as I am. Not to say that I wouldn't date someone that's lesser, but they have to be secure in who they are. And they have to be ambitious. Like, I don't care if you're not where I am, but you got to have some level of ambition. Do you want better for yourself?
Right.
But it's not always I need a man that's, because whenever I hear a woman say, I want a man that makes 6 figures, this and that, if you're looking at a specific ethnic group, that percentage is actually very low.
Can I? Because look, and you know what? I do it every episode.
Thank
so
you, Janika. She said, hit the like button. You better come on, hit that like button.
And I do this every episode, and I'm okay with having an unpopular opinion. But at
Right.
the end of the day, if the vibe ain't vibing, if you aren't in the gym but you expect him to be in the gym,
Yeah.
if you aren't making six figures but you expect him to make six figures, or if you aren't in the church and having all your spirituality together and haven't done the work, but you expect that other person to do the work,
Exactly.
that's not fair, and he don't want you.
No, it's not fair. I think I heard Super Sense say something like that. She said, if you have all these things that you want in a mate, what about you? What are you bringing to the table? Because we put all these demands and requests on other people. Men want a woman that got this and that, but what look at your body.
Right, right.
How
So he
you
got to
want-
check off
how
all the
you
boxes.
I mean, you can't want a 10 and you over here
3.5. That's a
like,
6.5 point spread. You can't do that.
Sway? How? So I think that, and the older that I get, for me, because I hear people say all the time, you can't date potential, you can't marry potential. You have to be really clear on what you want. And so. And you have to be, because the thing is, and I don't know if I mentioned it in our conversation or if I mentioned it last week, if there is a problem in your relationship that you have now, even if it's something small, it's going to be amplified when you are married.
Big facts.
So address it now. If it's something that is, y'all were getting on me last week, but if it's something that's figure outable, if it's something that's figure outable, then work through it. But if not, then keep it moving, because you cannot marry potential. And a lot of the times we're giving people the benefit of the doubt, but that's not. You can't cash a check on benefit of the doubt.
Well, we were talking about this, and we said paper versus purpose.
Yes, and I love that.
Yeah. So checking the boxes off is the paper, but does it align with your purpose? Right? That if my purpose wasn't to be in a padded room, that young lady, I was like, to me, a padded room is like a cell. I was like, a padded cell, like that wasn't. If I know, and I told you, I was like, I cannot be the man that I want to be for my future wife with this young lady. I just know for a fact I couldn't.
Yeah.
And you brought that to my attention, and I was like, okay, purpose is more important. I don't care about. I make my own money. I'm successful on my own end. I don't need a woman for that.
Yeah.
It's nice to have it, but I don't need her for that.
Yeah.
I need the peace when I get home piece. And
Right.
that wasn't going to happen.
Because I'm telling y'all, I was stressed out. You can't be stressing your friends out over your situations, okay?
There should
I
be a
was like,
community vote.
Jay, listen. So, yeah. Anyway, that's in the past, though.
Say I'm giving
So-
reformed bad boy vibes.
Right.
Was I? I might have had a little bit of bad boy ways.
You still got it.
Really? You
Yeah,
gotta keep
really.
a little thug to you.
Oh,
You gotta
really?
keep a little
Okay.
thug. You don't want just no thug. Like I'm running if somebody get us in the parking lot. You gotta
Yeah.
have a little bit of.
So yeah, okay, we've covered that. Are we ready to get into the meat of it? Not
Yes,
yet.
let's do it.
No,
Okay, let's get into the
because
meat,
I
but we're
feel
not
like we
getting
got a
into the-
whole lot to say. No,
Okay, come on.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm saying,
Yeah, we can get it. Go ahead.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
They like, what are y'all talking about? Okay, guys, we're talking about Will Smith, all right? So we're just going to go ahead and get into it, all right? Because, hey, it's the elephant in the room. Now, what I'd like to say first, okay, I am not one to judge anybody, okay? Because everybody got their demons, and I am not one to judge. We are not one to judge. I'm speaking on behalf of both of us. But I think it's important to talk about this topic, not because it's popular opinion, but because there are so many layers to this, and I want to get into it. So, Jay,
You done
since
made
you're a
us again.
man,
Whoa,
what?
we didn't even do the.
Oh,
can you-
well, we're supposed to
tap
do it
the- yeah.
afterwards, technically.
Okay, all right.
Supposed to give him a miss me with it afterwards. So
Okay, all
anyway,
right.
so let's get into it. All right. So Jay, since you're a man, I'm gonna start.
I don't
with
like
you
the way
first.
this is starting.
I'm gonna start
I'm gonna
with
be
you
honest
first.
with you. I
No,
do not
I'm
like the
gonna
way
start
this
with
is
you
starting.
first
Okay.
because Will is a man,
For sure.
and he was protecting his wife,
Yeah.
and he hit another man. Okay, Chris Rock. Okay, so what was your initial reaction when you saw that, and would you have reacted the same way?
I was at an event and I saw everybody pulling out their phones and watching the video. Now, mind you, I'm at like there's a private Bun B concert, so people that were there were like Bun B, people that love UGK, all the above. And when I saw everybody pulling their phones out, I was like, "What the heck is going on in the world?" I thought it was like the Ukraine, something pop off, and everybody was watching this video in the middle of this event. And when I left, I watched it and I was like, "Oh my god." Oh my God! Oh my God! But as a man, and I'm not saying that violence is okay. I am not saying that it is okay, and I'm not saying that it was what to do.
Right.
I can't say that I would not have reacted in a way like that. The reason is because my job, and I think every man's job, is to protect their household.
Absolutely.
And my thoughts were, and I just got Will Smith's book was the first book that I read this year. And I enjoyed it so much that I was ready to read it again after I finished it because it was that there was a lot of insight in there. And one of the things that he talked about is how much he was committed to number one box office hit, number one box office hit, number one box office hit. And he's the type of guy that digs right into his work, and it's all work. He is intense.
Yeah.
So he told stories of like when he was training for Ali, his whole crew ate just like he did. They all went for the runs. Everybody was 100% committed to the goal. And saying that, that means that he missed out on a lot of husband duties in protecting his wife because he's busy committed to the process of doing what he does to feed their family. Right?
Okay.
So I thought of those things, and here's an opportunity where you may have missed many, many opportunities over the last 20 plus years to show up for your wife, and here she is in pain on a public platform, and the same gentleman had cracked a joke on her last time, and the joke was something like she had as much need to be at the Oscars as he had to be in Rihanna's panties.
Yeah, and that was inappropriate.
That was inappropriate then. So this is the second time, and I'm right here?
Right.
Say, bro, we got to have a conversation.
But
what
to
did the
walk
hand
up on
say to the face?
But to walk up on the stage and slap a man, that was highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
But it again, it's very layered, right? So one, I don't know if Chris knew that she had alopecia, but two, you're reading from a teleprompter generally at these awards. And so the joke had to be run by the producers or whatever. So somebody had to tell the man that this was inappropriate, and he decided to still do the joke anyway. Now, whether his social cues are there or not, like, even once he realized Jada was mad, that would have been an opportunity to quickly react and apologize before Will got up on that stage, because he had some seconds.
Right.
But also, too, like I saw, Sharon, she said, I thought it was weird that he was cracking up. So I think it was one of those, like, nervous laughs. Because at first I said the same thing. I was like, but he laughed at the joke. But I think it was a nervous laugh. You know how you laugh like, now I'm about to come whoop your, I'm about to get up and whoop your tail. So I think it was one of those things. So, yeah. And so, he reacted. And I think also he saw Jada's face, and then he was like, oh, shoot, I got to do something. And I'm wondering if there was like a little tap or a little like, Negro, if you don't get up and say something,
she didn't have
you
to.
go. But her, because when you watch it, her face was like, she was perturbed. But yeah, so I think it was a little bit of a nervous laugh on his end. And again, thinking about how on edge Will already was in that moment. So I think it was bad timing for Chris, but this slap wasn't necessarily for Chris. It was for everybody in America.
And come for his wife.
To stop coming for him and his wife.
Yep.
It's like, I'm just using Chris as an example because I'm tired of him too.
Yeah.
So I think that, because when you look at the whole situation, when he got up there and did that speech, it's so many things. Like
You've been waiting to talk about this all week.
Because it's so many things. He got up there and he led with, Richard Williams and being defensive about his family. But Richard Williams was like, I don't condone violence. I would never do that. And then he's talking about love. You're talking about loving and being kind to people, but you just slapped the man.
Well, I think he was saying, I am at a stage in my life where this is what I want to do. I feel like I need to protect people. And that goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
He spent his entire career building and proving, whoever wrong and, this and that. And now he's at a point to where he's done enough.
Yeah.
And now what he needs to do is pull back and protect his family. Here's the part that nobody's thinking about or saying. As a husband, as a boyfriend, as a partner, I have been in situations to where people what happens before you go to an event, okay? Your wife's getting dressed. She's trying to figure out what outfit she's wearing.
Right.
So do I look fat in this? Do I look skinny in this? And this and that. And as a man, we are trying to navigate the minefield of, let me not, because you want her energy to be up here.
Right.
And then if she's dealing with this, with her hair loss, you said alopecia, is that right? Okay, if she's dealing with that, then there's probably some self-confidence that she's dealing with as she's getting ready, because this is the first Oscars where she's going bald-headed, not by choice.
Right.
And so I can only imagine that as a husband, he had been dealing with, I don't feel like I look pretty.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't feel like I look pretty. And here's a situation to where somebody's coming for your wife and you've been, baby, you look great, baby, and so I feel like that's one of those situations where it's like, she already feeling messed up. When he
Yeah.
saw that look on her face,
Yeah.
oh, I got to come for you, bro. I have to.
But again, choosing violence is not the answer. So, okay.
I'm not saying violence is okay,
yeah,
but I
so
understand coming for...
Yeah, let's see. Robin said, I don't think she wanted Will to do that then
No,
or
she
there.
definitely
Exactly. Nobody wants violence,
But I can guarantee you that night when they got home, she showed him her appreciation.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say it like that.
Exactly. And then, like Darika said, the fact that he was just able to walk up on stage in the first place and then sit back in his seat.
And then get up there and accept
And
an
then
award.
I was like, so wait a minute. Because I was like, maybe, and that's what led me to believe that this was a joke. I was like, nah, this is not real.
not
The
a
fact that this man was able to go back to his seat and get up 20 minutes later and accept an award was unreal to me. Because if that was anybody else, you better believe they would have been body slammed on sight. Where was security? Like somebody said. So I just...
No, but security is not stopping Will.
Well, that is the problem. That is the problem. It's that privilege. It's that entitlement. He just got back in his seat. And then like Shannon Sharp was saying, he was at the Vanity Fair party, like nothing even happened.
Yeah.
And apparently he did apologize to Chris backstage. But still,
This is the moment I was like, Chris didn't. Anytime somebody slap you, I've been in fights before. I'm holding some part of my body afterwards. That slap he went back from Philly and came all the way to Hollywood with that joker. And I'm not making a joke out of the slap.
Oh,
but that wasn't like first of all, and I was like, why did he slap him? As a man, I've never slapped another man. Like I've never.
It was like he wanted to punch him, but you know how actors do that? Because that's why I was like, well, did he really hit him? Because sometimes in movies when you're doing like a fake punch, it's like a slap.
Yeah.
But you're not really slapping. You're not really punching or slapping them. But I think he thought about it. He was like, ooh, I want to punch him, but then I'ma just slap him.
He went straight from Philly. He talked to Meek Mill back here.
Right.
And then on the way in was like...
You heard that. And then when I finally heard the audio version and when I saw his face, I was like, oh, he big mad.
Yeah, he big mad.
He's big
That
mad.
was
So
not
that's
acting.
when I was like, oh, this is real. And when I saw poor Lupita, she's been made out of a meme. They had made her.
About that lady
I
that
was like, they
cracked
made
in
her
the
a
gold?
meme. But but I think again, what's important to note here is how he's cracked under pressure. Because it's like, and someone said, they put their business out there. Yeah, but even when you've put your business out there, you are human, and you still crack under pressure.
Yeah.
And I mean, the man was coming undone in his speech. And, the thing is, too, in his book, and I think a lot of things are surfacing, too, because of that book and the book tour. In his book, he talked about how his father abused his mother.
Yeah,
And so he, vowed to protect his family at all costs.
Exactly.
Now, you don't hear about Will being in the law, being unruly, so he's put on this image, right? He's put on this image. He's been the good guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he made a mistake. And so we are not one to judge like how he will be persecuted and whatever consequences. But, again, violence is wrong. He made a mistake. And, Laura said, yeah, he comes with a lot of guilt. So I think that, the man cracked under pressure. Your life is under the public eye. And then especially, I'm sure, just imagine them getting ready before going to the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a conversation where Jada was like, I like this dress, but my hair.
I'm telling you.
I'm sure there was a
The
conversation.
limo all the way up to the front.
Because women, we are about the physical appearance.
And let's see, as African American women, y'all are judged. You were known by your hair. We've been places and you didn't have this hairstyle, and people walk right past. And like I remember we were at one of the restaurants around the corner, and Joy and I were there together. And the lady was like, "Oh, I loved you on the show, blah 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 blah." And you could see that I was with a young lady, and she was like, "Where's Joy?" And I'm like, "That's her right there." she right there. She's like, "For real? Where's the hair?" Y'all are identified defined by your hair. And so I can only imagine, and as a husband, I don't think it's been all of these years, and we've never seen, she didn't, the whole thing with the young man with the, what they call it? Not the situation, what was it?
What?
With her and
the entanglement?
Yeah, the entanglement, all that stuff. Will said nothing.
Yeah.
Entanglement, all this stuff, all the stuff that came out.
He came to the red table and talked about it.
But he never acted out.
No.
You have to know that his boys was like, say, bro, so you just going to let her just go ahead and let another man do that thing?
Yeah.
So out of all of that, nothing from Will Smith. But you come for his queen, don't test your jaw.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a lesson for Chris Rock, too, because, again...
He's going to have a co-host of The Rock or Mike Tyson next year.
they had jokes circulating about that. But I think it's a lesson for him, too. Yes, you're a comedian, because people are like, he's a comedian. Yes, but once he saw Jada's face, that would have been an opportunity to be like, oh, shoot, I think I might have overstepped, But
here's another piece. Jada has taken a lot of heat in their relationship.
She has.
For her entanglement. But if one is entangling, the other is probably entangling too. And Will has not caught any slack over that.
Right.
So at a certain point, she's probably like, I'm sure they've had these conversations like, look, I'm taking these L's in these streets, but brother, you have your own situations as well.
Right. Exactly.
Y'all are killing me.
GFC's cheerleader said, what did Chris Rock find on his face the next morning? Fresh Prince. I can't. I can't.
That is the joke of the day.
I can't. Okay. So, listen, Angelique said his side pieces are quiet. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I can't. So, but yeah, and that's the other thing too. Somebody mentioned about being black. Like, listen, black people, we built different too.
Yeah, you can't come from.
We built different, and it's like, okay, one time I'm gonna let you go. But here's the other thing too, because people are like, well, Regina Hall made a joke about their marriage, and he didn't say anything to her, and they actually laughed about it. She's a woman, but they also laughed about it, so that was funny.
Okay.
But then the other side of it was like, well, it's because Jada has a health condition, but he didn't know.
But here, okay, all right.
And G.I. Jane, Demi Moore was bald in G.I. Jane, and then people are like, "Oh, well, he was emasculating her," or And I was like, "Oh goodness, it's just so much.
Here's
so many layers to this."
We haven't talked about this, but I thought about this earlier. Is that in a public format, we're on a stage, we're shooting a reunion, and somebody I felt was coming for you. I defended you, even though that was a woman. If it would have been a man.
Did you defend me, though? Did you defend me, though?
I absolutely did.
And
I even tried to help you, like, hey.
No, you told me to fix my face.
Fix your face. I'm talking about that part.
That's not defending me.
That's looking out for you and your whole thing. I could have just sat there.
That's not defending me though.
What, I'm supposed to get up and fight a woman? You want me to
these
slap a
people
woman? That's
eat
not
me
gonna happen.
try to eat me alive.
I
and
did
then-
not.
Y'all
I
saw the
did not.
reunion.
And I
Did
warned
Jay
you before
defend
we
me?
got there.
Did-
And before we got there, I was like, do not allow yourself to get out of your character.
no, here's the thing. Just like Will took himself back to Philly, I took myself back to the south side of Chicago. Because one thing I'm not going to do is let somebody disrespect me. And I was, again, just like Will, I was in a fragile state. And if
Big
you
facts.
know I'm in a fragile state, for people who know what condition I'm dealing with, I'm dealing with my sister's loss, a couple of months after my sister's loss. And then you going to come for me? Like that just, and especially when someone has been waiting for that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me,
Which
I was
you had
like,
a good idea.
I'm ready.
Like, yeah.
And I really didn't want to let myself go there. But I was just,
I tried.
No, you did.
I tried.
Y'all, he didn't.
What else can I do? I was like, no, ma'am, that's not okay.
Anyway, y'all, but I was like, I didn't really want to let myself go there.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm not going to let someone disrespect me, especially knowing already how I felt. I did not want to be there that day. Mm-hmm. I was still grieving the loss of my sister, and then I'm like, I'm dealing with all these different things, it was like 3 different scenarios I had to deal with. And so I'm like, wow. So in that moment, I didn't feel like you defended me.
How would you have liked me to feel? We haven't had this conversation.
We haven't.
Yeah,
we gonna have it
never.
now.
I mean, it's just me and you.
I just felt like you telling me to fix my face was not it.
What would you? What would you have
fix
liked
my face? Like say something to the other party.
There was 2 parties. The
other
party I
parties.
did. Okay, one party I did say something to.
What'd you say?
I said I can't let you get away with that. Like that's not okay.
I don't recall.
Oh. Look, for y'all that watched Ready to Love and saw the reunion, shout out to the OWN network that saw it. Let me know if y'all remember that moment, and I will find it's on camera. I will find it and send it back to you. And then on the next
let's
episode,
do that.
I would like my public apology about how I didn't.
Really?
I know I'm not gonna get that.
You ain't gonna get that.
I'm not gonna get that. The
Miss
footage
me with it.
Right, that's gonna be the miss.
Miss me with it.
You're wrong for that.
Listen.
Y'all teaming up on me today.
So yeah, it's 50-50 in the chat about whether or not Jay defended me. But let's see. Let's go back
I'll
to
take my 49% and I'll take that as a win because the chat never is on my side. Y'all, I feel like it's just your best friends in there. They always support you.
Let's see. Somebody said Will has tight NDAs right on them side pieces.
Smart.
So Dorica said, as long as Chris Rock has been in the industry, he couldn't come up with better material. Why choose to insult people who have come to be acknowledged for an award? Yeah, I mean, but this is every year, guys. That's it, especially if you in the front row. I mean, they came for everybody,
I only watched that.
But
one
again,
part. I watched that and I watched it as a 7th pitch. I did appreciate Denzel. I think every person, and we've talked about this, like I feel like everybody dating should have an older couple as a mentor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate Denzel in that moment, not necessarily criticizing him, but supporting him in a way of giving him good counsel, which was the devil will come for you in your highest
yeah,
moment.
absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened. And I'm not giving Will any type of a pass by any means, but that is true.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. My mom said the tragedy is that Will Packer was lost in all of this. And I agree because that was a historic moment for him to produce the Oscars. And I feel like he was overshadowed by the other Will, So,
shout out to Will Packard, though, man. I mean,
absolutely.
He produces
that was
Ready to
awesome.
Love, and actually gave us some great stuff. And one of the reasons why we're here, actually, yeah, absolutely. So
we are here because of Will Packer.
Good old Will.
I'm actually here because of my mom and my daddy. But,
you say that just because your mom in the chat?
No, but I am.
Okay, fair enough.
Not because.
I'm here
not because of Will.
I'm talking about not here on this earth. I'm talking about here
Oh
front of our
man, Jay
amazing
saying "fix your
subscribers.
face" was equivalent to "sis fix your crown." I don't agree
Thank
with that.
you. Thank you.
Where
Who
where in the
said that?
world do you
I
see
will go
that?
and like your Facebook
Really?
and Instagram post for the last year.
I
Thank you.
can't.
Thank you.
Let's see. Will Smith's win was also overshadowed. Exactly.
Yeah.
And just think about the family, the Williams family. And it happened so fast. I don't think he was thinking about any of that. The impact of the decision that he made to hit this man.
He had one thing on his mind,
Yeah.
which is protect the
Yeah.
queen. Okay. And like I said, I do not condone violence, but I will protect my family
Yeah.
to my own fall. And I am okay with that. And as a man, I will still stand 10 toes down. And I feel like he probably would. I don't know if he would. I can't put what words in his mouth. But from reading his book, I feel like this is a time in his life when he really is changing his focus because he's made all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Boy, getting paid. He getting paid from all kinds of angles.
Oh, he is. He is.
So at a certain point, it doesn't become about the money. It comes about the respect and on what you're here to do as a man, which is to protect.
Yeah.
And he did his job.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I applaud Chris for I applaud Chris for not
Yeah. No,
bucking.
now, I want y'all to notice, go back and look at the slow-mo, because Chris hit this, then he pulled back one, and he let it go about halfway through and was like, he realized
just
the
took
moment.
it. He just took it.
That takes a lot as a
He
man.
he wasn't even prepared for Will to come and hit him because he was standing defenseless.
Yep.
Like his arms were behind him, so he was not prepared for Will to come and
But
hit
a
him.
body language expert
Yeah.
would tell you that your hands behind you is because you're literally exposing all your vital organs, okay? And it's a position of power. So if you see like some of the kings of England, they will walk around like this. And so it's like for women, it's this as a Superman pose, right? And for men, it's really
Superwoman
this
pose.
there you
Thank
go,
you.
Superwoman.
Yeah.
You've done that pose on stage, haven't you?
I have.
Absolutely. Because you are a Superwoman.
Thank you. Now he trying to clean his act up.
Your mom is in the chat. I gotta.
He over here trying to clean it up.
I do not want the hut and smoke. I tell you that.
But
every
I
week.
do agree. Like there are some people in the chat saying it could have been handled a different way, and I agree. Just like even with the reunion, I think some things could be handled differently. Private conversations, like pull Chris aside later, pull me aside, and have this conversation because you never know how people are thinking about things. You don't know. I don't think Chris had any bad intentions. I don't think he was trying to be malicious, regardless of whether him and Will are friends or not. I don't think he was out to get Jada.
I bet he never makes another Jada joke.
I bet he will never
as
in
long
life.
As he living his
but
life.
y'all, Chris Rock is going on tour.
he got his ticket sales up. Oh, it's everything's
And
sold
Chris
up.
Rock is on tour, and I'm like, everybody's waiting just to see what he's gonna say.
Did you ever watch the Dave Chappelle show?
I did, and I'm waiting
What
for
did
Dave Chappelle to make a
What
statement
did the
because I want to hear
five
what
fingers say to the face? Slap.
I want to hear what Dave Chappelle has to say. But yeah,
I appreciate Chris Rock and realizing the moment and not responding how I would have.
yeah.
Because it would have been the rumble in the jungle right there. And then you got those, I'm sure they probably had some super high-end shoes on that they wore for the first time, so everybody's slipping around because you get no grip on those hard bottoms. You get zero grip on that stage. And so that would have been a worse fight to see them just slipping around. So I appreciate him having grace in the moment and looking past the moment. And even with his words that he said, he said something like, this was the most powerful moment on TV or the most interesting moment on TV. And in that moment, he's actually thinking about the future as he's referencing the past. And that just tells you in that split second, his response was to think about the future and what this moment's going to mean and to not respond in kind. Because at that point, a comedian, they are laser sharp tacticians with their words. Do you know? I can absolutely tell you he had 5 jokes that came to mind and chose to lay them all down, lay his arms down, and say, I'm going to move forward with the show. There is something to be said, the fact that they allowed Will to then
Go
get on
back to his
stage.
seat.
Yeah.
Go back to his seat. Now, some people are like, cancel Will. I don't think any of that because here's the thing. The biggest lesson in all of this is that there is some healing that needs to be done on all parties, right? Will obviously has a lot of healing to do. Jada has healing to do. They have healing to do
Yeah.
as a unit.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of things because I would not, want to provoke you to go and choose violence in that
Yeah.
moment. You know,
Yeah.
even if you wanted to, I'd be like,
Yeah.
grab you on the leg. Like, that's not the fix your face.
You would have
as
fixed
you-
your face, man. See, so in that moment, that would have been your defense. Thank you very much because you
I
helped me
wouldn't
prove
tell
my
you to fix
entire
your face
point.
though, because fix it.
You said
your
you would have
face-
grabbed my leg.
Yeah, but
which
that's
would be your
to
physical
prevent
version of
you
saying,
from getting up though.
Exactly.
I didn't get up though.
Exactly. Oh, I wouldn't
I
have let
didn't
you
get
up.
up. Well, I wouldn't have
I
done
wouldn't
that.
let you get
My mom and dad. I had my mother and father in the back of my mind the whole time. Even though I was on the edge of that seat, I wasn't gonna go there. It wasn't worth it. Like, it just wasn't, because at the end of the day, my mind was on my sister, and I wanted to go home, and I was tired.
And it was a long day. So for
Like,
y'all,
it was a 14-hour day.
It was 14 hours
So,
of sitting.
yeah, but I would not allow you to choose violence in that moment. And and then it was just how they just moved past it for me. I was like, so
Well, you still
are
have
we
to
are we
show
gonna
the
act
ass.
like this? No, Will and Jada.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, how are we just gonna act like nothing happened?
You talking about that night?
Yeah.
I'm telling you that next.
Well, see, my mama said, you better not embarrass me.
that
Dad,
boy.
right?
When I tell you,
Right.
when I tell you that Will, they had a conversation in the car, and Jada put it on him that night. I guarantee you that Will had one of the best nights of his marriage that night. When a man defends like all of that, he may have done something extremely bad, but I'm telling you, when you defend your woman
Yeah.
and protect her crown, absolutely.
Yeah, well, Chris decided not to press charges, but the Academy is launching a full investigation.
Yeah, but they can't press charges. I don't know how it works in California,
Yeah.
but here the DA has a right to pick up the charges, right? Even if you don't.
Yeah.
But maybe in Cali it's different. I don't think we'll see any type of criminal stuff. I think this will be 6 months from now, 3 months from now. We won't be talking about it.
Yeah.
It's just Will is done. He has a great body of work, and I would not want this to tarnish his body of work, and I don't think that it does. It just says, "Don't come for my wife. I'm still from Philly."
Yeah. And I gotta say happy birthday to Lartisha. She's one of my loyal podcast listeners. So
Happy birthday,
she comes on the
Lartisha.
Beauty-ish and the Failure to
Happy birthday,
Communicate side.
Lartisha.
So yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so this
to
is
you.
a heavy one, guys, and I hate to see the black man go down like that, but the black man will prevail. This is not gonna stop us from doing what we do, and
I think in today's
know.
era, where women don't feel like men show up for them, not that we need to show up in this way,
Yeah.
but I think this brings a greater conversation
absolutely.
of how women should feel supported, and when somebody comes for yours, you take care of it. And I'm not saying that it's the right way to take care of it, but
don't choose violence.
Well, you choose it every day. You said that.
Well, not physical violence though. I
You
ain't
said
be
that
out
on
here
multiple
beating.
times.
I'm not beating nobody.
I know you're not beating people up.
I ain't just going around slapping, folks. Just
But
I might want to, but
I think it's a big conversation, and it happened.
Yeah.
We just so happened to be having a conversation. We had already planned on having a conversation about power couples, and then this just slid into it. And I
Yeah.
feel like I know some people are going to be like, "Well, y'all didn't talk about power couples much."
But we did.
did.
I mean, we talked about it at the beginning, and I mean, they are a power couple, but even power couples have weaknesses.
Yeah.
We talked about, we opened it up with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and if you look at a lot of these couples, I mean, no one is immune to hardship in their relationship, in their marriage. And I think that sometimes we put people on pedestals, and, Will has constantly been put on a pedestal and what have you, but he's human.
We all bleed.
He's
blood.
human. And so he made a mistake. It's a bad one. Pretty bad one. But he'll rebound from this. And I hope that he learns, and I hope that other people learn from this too, because it's not just the public display of what he did, but it is the fact that you can have such a quick reaction to things when you are not healed. That's the bigger thing. That's the bigger thing for me, because when I listened to his speech, I was like, woo. I was like, this brother got a lot of a lot
Can
of
you
healing
imagine
to
the
do.
pressure?
Yes, that's
a
what I'm
lot.
saying.
And he's
then you're
done.
living in this light. You just had this big role. You just won this Oscar. That is a lot of pressure. In addition to what I'm saying, all the things that are being uncovered through him going on these book tours and writing this book, you're unlocking the key. You are opening Pandora's box to your trauma, your childhood trauma, and things that you may not have dealt with before. And then you have that, and then you got your wife. She's in pain. Your kids, well, we're not gonna get into the kids right now, but it's a lot going on in that family dynamic, and so so it's just a lot.
I one of the things that what they are a power couple. You have Michelle and Barack are the power couples. You have Beyonce and Jay-Z, and I think that's probably what people would recognize as our top three power couples, right? And in each one of these situations, I feel like the wife has allowed her career to just kind of, except from Beyonce and Jay-Z, like they're both still going at it. And Jada will do some roles here and there, but the wives in these situations have chosen to let his career be the primary career in the household.
But
right?
I think we had this conversation though. I had a conversation with someone, and a man had told her that when you are a successful woman and you want to be with a successful man, that the woman is usually the one that has to dim her light.
Yeah.
We're in the man's shadow. And it's
Except for with
unfortunate.
Oprah and Stedman.
Well, yeah.
Does anybody know what Stedman look like? Has anybody?
That's a unique case. Look,
has anybody seen Stedman?
that's a unique case. That's a unique case. But I think that a lot of the times the women have to dim their light just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
so in the case of Michelle Obama, I was reading her book and was becoming Michelle. And she tells this story where her and Barack went to a restaurant and they got away from the White House. And of course, they had to shut the restaurant down for them and so forth, so on. And they're having dinner together. And the owner of the restaurant comes over and says, and talks to the security, and they allow him to actually talk to Michelle. And so it turns out that it's her ex-boyfriend, right? That she dated a while back. And so, and Barack, was nice and graceful and had the conversation with him. And then the guy walks off. And Barack is like, oh, so if you would have been with him, you would have been the wife of a restaurant owner. She's like, no, he would have been president.
Listen, Michelle said, I make presidents.
Look, and so
Listen,
I say that to say that a strong woman can bring a man into who he is to be.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Because people were like, oh, y'all look cute together. I made him look cute, Hey,
Miss Sutton, how you doing? I'm gonna go ahead and
listen, any picture I'm in, we look. Oh God! Listen, Michelle is a Capricorn, so let me just leave that right there.
Is she really?
Yes, she is.
That makes so much sense.
You know what? Look, so I'm just saying.
That makes so much sense. But I say that to say that they are a power couple.
They are.
And
Barack has had his mistakes too.
Well, we're not talking about that.
Yes.
The whole
but I'm
point
just saying, we put people on a pedestal. So before you put people on a pedestal, we have to admit that they're human as well.
But I think people always think that, and she's a very well accomplished, extremely intelligent attorney. But people will say that this person has to be this or this has person to be that. No, you can still be a power couple and one person say, all right, I'm going to let you have this because I'm going to support you, and that ends up being a power couple. Yeah. Go ahead. You read something funny.
No, I'm laughing at the comments because they're laughing at what I said.
You got jokes today.
But no, I agree.
No. Go ahead.
Tink.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't. I've never been called Tink Tink in my life. Boy, so you can call me Big Head.
I make presidents, baby.
Say, bro, you over there laughing real hard at my expense.
Hey, Ting Ting is a Twitter thing. So that's
Um, oh man, y'all, this has been really good. Thank you guys for chiming in. We
I've been looking forward to this episode all
yeah.
week.
Yeah, me too.
All
This is
week.
a good one because for me there were just so many layers to unpack behind a black on black crime. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was beyond that. And I want the black man to heal. I want
Yeah.
the black woman to heal. I just want us all to heal.
Yeah.
You know, because these are the consequences. These are the consequences.
If somebody calls me Tink Tink in the street, it will be. Y'all gonna see another 5 fingers. What is it? 5 fingers say to the face.
Ooh,
Right. One of these
face.
dudes come out here and call me
Ooh,
Tink Tink
face.
in these streets. That's a whole Chris Rock. I'm gonna go back to the south side of Houston with that slap though.
Really?
It's all good. We always
Oh
got
man, Aunt Viv tried to tell us we all need therapy. Exactly. So anyway, guys,
We could wrap this one up with encouraging everybody
Yes.
to
it's okay to heal.
communicate and heal and allow and heal through your communication, whether it's relationships or individually. I think that's you could definitely see in Will's acceptance speech how this was emotionally hitting him and how he's trying to embrace. I am going to take care of my family.
Yeah,
You
that's
got
good.
it.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. Oh, it said good night, Joy. Good night, T. Woo.
I'm posting my hair picture tomorrow. I just want you to know.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And it's
Whatever. It's all good. You choose violence every day too. So anyway, thank y'all so much. We'll see you next week. Bye.